need to talk about Japanese toilets.
Let's try the spray. Oh!
Is this really necessary?
You've never felt anything like it.
I feel like Japan has the weirdest toilets in the world, probably. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're probably not all as scary as this, but they do make you feel like this. And maybe it's just me, but I didn't know toilets could make you feel like that. And I've been wanting to talk about this with you for so long. I feel like a lot of people have talked about Japanese toilets and how clean they are, but they never really get into the nitty-gritty of it. They don't delve deep into why they're so good, why everyone's obsessed with them, including me.
Yeah, I'm nearly addicted to them.
Because it's just not normal to be obsessed with a toilet. It's a toilet, like, get over it. But I'm not over it, so I want to talk about it. And I don't even know if Japanese people understand why we're also fascinated with them. Do they get it? Are they as confused as I am? So let's talk about it. So whether you've been to Japan before or you haven't, it's highly likely you've heard how clean they are. Like, Japan in general is super, super clean. Like, they take hygiene really, really seriously. They eat raw eggs, for crying out loud. Like, that's how strict their hygiene standards are. They can actually do that. Like, UK can't do that. So the first thing I noticed in Japan when I entered the toilet was how quiet it was. Like, I've never experienced something like that in the toilet before. I feel like people are super, super respectful, but not only that, when you sit down, the toilet seat is warm. Like, why? Like, who came up with this? Like, who do I have to thank? And what do I need to do to make it a thing in England?
It might not be sunny outside, but at least your butt's warm.
Because it's so comfortable. Like, it's so soothing. I can't even describe. And then you look down and find the control panel. And I'm not gonna lie to you, okay, this is where you're gonna have like a slight panic attack. Because what are all these buttons? You have no idea what it says. They're all in Japanese.
Well, I have dared press one button. I've dared press the bidet button.
You can't find the flush.
I still don't know what the shower button does. I don't know if that's to wash the Marys.
But once you get used to it, it's actually kind of fun. They've literally thought of everything humanly possible, like anything you would need. They have like a bidet setting, so you get sprayed at all angles, okay? Like, be prepared.
We've let you bog roll.
You get sprayed at the front, you get sprayed at the back. Like, it's basically a shower right at this point. But you feel so clean for it.
My trumping gear has never been as clean.
One thing I really love is the fact that they have music. So when you're doing the little pee-pee or little poo-poo, you can play songs. Like, so they have like this bird song or like nature, river flowing, waterfall sounds.
The music box? No, it makes some sounds, right, when you sit.
I don't know about this in your country, but where I'm from, growing up at school, definitely with girls, I don't know about boys, you kind of get teased for like just peeing. If girls hear the sound of you peeing in the cubicle, they will giggle and laugh at you. So there's a thing where you have to kind of wait until you hear the hand dryers go, and then you can do your business. But Japan has completely solved that issue. You don't even have to worry about the sound you're making because there's sounds over it. It's so relaxing and so peaceful, and you don't have to feel anxious about like people laughing or listening in on you when you're doing your thing.
Oh.
So you get a bit of privacy, which I like. I really wish we had that in the UK. And if you think that's crazy, in some toilets they even have a dryer for your butt. It's basically a spa at this point. It's like a spa for your bum. So you don't even really need toilet paper at this point.
With a Japanese toilet, you don't need toilet paper. You're mad.
Why doesn't everyone else do this? I can imagine that'd be really good for the environment, would it not? So to me, it feels like there's so many different things in the Japanese toilet that make it what it is, that make it so unique and so fun somehow. I think there's several reasons why it works so well. So one of the reasons is it's super comfortable and reliable. Visiting Japan, I've only been like 3 times, but in all the times I've been, I literally can't think of a time a toilet was out of order. Like, that's crazy. Like, in the UK, it's quite common to find that they're out of order, or that there's toilet paper all over the floor, there's like a flood. You have to get the toilet paper and mop it all up because you're dipping your feet in water. It's not always that bad. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not hating on the UK. Like, I actually like where I live, but I'm not gonna lie to you, there's definitely been times where it's kind of icky. Like, I even know people who openly avoid, if at all possible, going to public toilets because it's so uncomfortable and so dirty, and it's just not enjoyable. So this is completely the opposite experience in Japan. Like, you actually want to go. Like, no matter what you've done in the day, you can rely on those 2 minutes of pure and utter bliss. Just peace. Say, for example, if you've had like a really long flight to Japan, the first thing you're gonna do is jump straight to a toilet and like experience that. I just can't think of doing that in another country. Maybe it is like that where you live. You let me know in the comments. But for me, it's not normal to feel that way about a toilet. It's a toilet. But in Japan, it's the first thing I want to do. It's the thing that when you ask foreigners what they loved about Japan or what they missed the most, more often than not, it will be one of the first things they mention. And not only that, one of the things they wish they could take with them back to their own country.
Do you think you could live a life without them now that you've lived here for so long?
No. No.
It's that it makes that much of an impact on them.
We're all in agreement, aren't we? It hits the spot every time.
Plus, they're really efficient. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there are these toilets that are called 2-in-1 toilets. So they literally have a sink and a toilet all in one. And as far as I'm aware, they're relatively common, actually. Just think about the amount of water they save because of this built-in feature where the sink is at the top of the toilet. So the water used for washing your hands is then recycled for the next flush. Like, how smart is that? Like, why is this not everywhere? I don't get it. Is there a reason? Like, plus, because the water is automatically running, there's also a thing where you don't have to really touch the faucet. So there's no risk of spreading like bacteria. So it's equally good for hygiene purposes as well.
I'm telling you, they're thinking.
Also, another thing I've learned about Japan is that they have a lot of toilets available. I don't see people mentioning that very much online. Like, how many konbinis are in Japan, okay? There's literally convenience stores on every single corner. And they all have, well, as far as I'm aware, they all have toilets in that you can use. Whereas in England, you literally have to plan your day around finding a toilet, or you're going to be so uncomfortable holding that in. They just don't seem to prioritize that here, like the comfortability of it, the accessibleness. The accessibleness, that is a word, right? The accessibility. Okay, here's a big one. So, innovative architecture. This is something that is really unique. I've never seen toilets like this before. So, the toilets I'm showing you right now actually have this special glass that turns opaque as soon as you lock them, so nobody can see you inside, which is actually kind of genius because not only does it show if they're vacant, it also shows cleaners in Japan if they need cleaning. And you might have recognized them from the movie Perfect Days, if you've seen it. If you haven't, I definitely recommend it. I mean, for a movie centered around cleaning toilets, it will definitely stay with you. So this one I think was designed by Shigeru Ban, and it's a part of the Tokyo Toilet project. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it is. It's part of the Tokyo Toilet project, and they have tons of stunning, like, architectural, like, wonders, if you will. On the website, it says,
public toilets have been redesigned in 17 locations in Shibuya through the vision of 16 world-class creators, making them safe and comfortable for everyone regardless of gender, age or disability.
I particularly really love this one. So I saw this one in a recent Tokidoki video.
It's popular, it's bustling.
And look how cool it is. Like, how good is that? It doesn't even look like a toilet. It looks like more like a UFO, I don't know. It looks like a spaceship. It's almost like a tourist attraction. It's just a toilet, but Japan has transformed it into something into a place you'd want to hang out and like have a picnic nearby or something. I just never knew that toilets could be like that. And then they have this, oftentimes right next to the modern like Japanese washlets, by the way. And you might be thinking, why the heck have they got this when they can have this beautiful modernized toilet that does all these different things?
Oh, look at that.
And I'm glad you asked. So these are popular with the older generation, I believe, for a couple of reasons. So one is for hygiene reasons. Can I say bum bum? Your peach? Your bum literally doesn't have to touch the toilet seat because you're squatting above it. So hygiene wise, it's an A+. 2, I think it's actually really good to, how do I say this? Get things going, if you know what I mean. Get things flowing. I mean, you're in the position that Mother Nature intended, am I right? So things are gonna come out more easily. And hey, Japan cares a lot about your mobility. Just practice those Asian squats, okay? So all of this sounds really, really good, right? So I'm gonna get on to why your country hasn't adopted it yet. But before I do, I wanna talk a little bit about what this reveals about Japan as a society, about their culture, because I think it does say a lot. And this also is something that isn't really talked about. And I definitely think it's something that people tend to skip past because it's not as glamorous to talk about, you know. People love talking about the crazy bidet settings and, you know, the heated seats. But it goes a lot further than that. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So I recently learned a phrase in Japanese that is omotenashi, which basically means heartfelt hospitality. So Japan as a country, it's deeply ingrained in their culture to care about hospitality and to give selfless, meticulous care. And I don't think that's true in every country. I mean, we could get into customer service, like Japanese customer service. I could talk all day about it really, so I think that'll be a completely separate video. But it does play into the toilets because it shows how much they care about these little things. Like the amount of attention to detail just for a toilet says everything you need to know about Japan. Like, they pay attention to efficiency, comfort, convenience, privacy. Like, all these things really matter to them. And it shows. So finally, we're going to talk about why hasn't your country adopted it yet? Like, you'd think they'd be everywhere, right? They sound so good that why hasn't your country got Japanese toilets? Or toilets like them? Are there any negatives? And by the way, many countries do actually have bidets. They're just usually separate fixtures, so they're usually next to the toilet, not in one thing. And not only that, a lot of times the water can be cold. But it goes to show they're not insanely unique. Like, Japanese toilets are unique, but the idea of a bidet has been around for a while. But I've done a little bit of research and found a couple of reasons why they might not be as popular in every country. So number one, we're going with a pretty obvious one, the control panel. So it's kind of overwhelming. Like, there's a lot going on.
I've been to Japan 3 times before and I've never dare use the bogs.
You can be prone to having a few accidents if you're not careful. Like, I've definitely had a few accidents in Japan, whether it be not being able to find the flush button.
I would stay in the toilet for like 30 minutes trying to figure out how to flush the toilet.
Or pressing the bidet button by accident when you've already got up and the water just squirts you in the back.
Right in the roof.
And you basically have a shower in there. And so there's things like that that might be off-putting for some people. Number 2, they're pretty darn expensive.
Okay, how much?
So high-tech Japanese toilets can range from about £500 to about £10,000. Whew, I'm sweating just thinking about that. I don't know about you. I've also heard you can pay over £1,000 just for a seat attachment.
Yeah, but they're expensive. So
Number 3, strict regulations. So these kind of toilets actually require a dedicated power outlet, which isn't that common in Western bathrooms. In fact, it's forbidden. And why is this? Well, I'm glad you asked. So it says here.
UK electrical safety regulations forbid standard 3-pin plug sockets within 3 meters of a bath or shower edge.
In fact, most UK bathrooms are actually too small for a socket 3 meters away from the water source. So that's not ideal.
Japanese toilets which use sprayers are treated as fluid category 5 high risk under UK water supply regulations. And they must have approved backflow protection to prevent the toilet water from contaminating the mains water supply.
Did that make any sense to you? If it didn't, it's just bad. It's not good. Number 4, maintenance and cleaning requirements. So I didn't find much information on this, but apparently the high hygiene standards of Japan just are too much for us mere mortals. Like, just give it up. No one can compete with that, you know, just stay dirty. All joking aside, Japanese toilets actually do require a lot of upkeep, and they can develop like significant issues when used with hard water. And as you can imagine, the UK has quite a bit of hard water. Yay! Lucky for us. I think it's about 60% of the UK has hard to very hard water. Like, very hard water? I'm so stupid that I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, dude, is that good for your health? So apparently the reason for this is due to limescale. And what do you know? Japan mainly has soft water. I mean, lucky for you. Is this why you all have such good skin? Like, that would make so much sense. And lastly, number 5, controversial environmental impact. Like me, you might be thinking, I mean, what's not to love? Like, you're saving tons of water, you're saving on toilet paper. But while they use less water for flushing, they also use a lot of energy.
It lives.
It increases energy consumption quite a bit due to the 24/7 heating of the water and the sea. So that's a lot of energy expenditure, and yeah, that's not always a good thing for most people.
I can't look.
So I guess there are a few downsides to Japanese toilets. There may be things that take a bit of getting used to.
Something just touched my butt.
But at the end of the day, can you really deny how good they are? Like, they're pretty darn cool, right? Like, I feel like they're insanely different. Like, they're so unique to where I live. I genuinely believe, like, once you try it, you can't go back. Like, it's just life-changing. Is it just me? Like, once you use them, you'll never feel clean again. Like, they'll ruin your life. Please let me know if you're from Japan. Did I miss anything? And what's your experience with Western toilets? Do you like them? And if you're not in Japan, would this work for you? Would this work in your country? If you could, would you want Japanese toilets? I know I would. But please let me know if... Oh, that might be like making a sound. Maybe I won't do that hand gesture.